What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a WWE Raw review. And you'll notice over the last couple of weeks we've been in and out of this. We've been changing things up with the layout and the way we do the reviews. And today we're going to have another change. We are going to install, or I am for my videos definitely, a temperature ratio or a temperature scale for the show itself. So obviously, if the show is cold, it's just not hitting. It's not getting us excited. And if the show is hot, it's getting us excited. It's a damn good show. You get the gist of it. And basically, each segment or match, we're gonna say whether it was hot or cold, and that's gonna bump up the scale as we see fit. If it's just a little bit hot, it's gonna bump it up a little bit. If it was hot, it's gonna go all the way. If it was like a really bad segment, it's gonna jump down a little bit more than what just an average segment would. So you get the gist of it. Let's get straight into it with the very first thing of the night, and that was Dom Mysterio and Liv Morgan coming out to the ring. Well, firstly, we saw them arriving at the arena, and Dom came out in his, well, not in his, in like an Eddie style lowrider with bouncing around, proper Latino heat stuff, and him and Liv start walking into the arena, and then Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman just absolutely annihilate each other. And yeah, they stop for a moment, they break that up, and then we continue seeing Dom and Liv walk out into the arena. Liv walks out into the arena and then gets absolutely booed whenever she tries to speak on the mic. She's getting that Dom treatment now, which I absolutely love. Just being around Dom gets people to hate you, which is just, it shows how much heat Dom himself has. Anyway, she goes on and on about how the Judgment Day is now hers, how Dom is now hers, the title is now hers, her plan has worked for her revenge tour. And they play the clip from last week where Judgment Day took out the Terror Twins, being Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. And yeah, that's when Rhea Ripley finally comes out to put an end to this. And she comes out to the ring. She says, "I'm not going to touch you, Liv. I'm not going to hurt you." Dom stands in her way, and then Rhea basically says, "Oh, you finally found your cojones." Talking, yeah. Um, and they go back and forth a little bit. But Rhea explains to Liv that there's been a change for their match coming at Bad Blood. And that change is now that Dom Mysterio will be in a shark cage above the ring, or I hope it'll be above the ring. Either way, he'll be in a shark cage while they're going at it. So Dominic Mysterio cannot interfere. Basic stuff. Just that was a cool moment. I got a bit of a pop seeing just the thought of seeing Dom in a shark cage and the things he can do with that, because he's the chicken shit heel. It's gonna be so great. Honestly, it's gonna be really good. And I like the fact that they've included that. That kind of tells me that Rhea's most likely going to win, but I really liked it nonetheless. The segment was alright. Rhea Ripley ends it off by taking back her word where she said she's not going to touch Liv, and she headbutts Liv and walks off. Decent stuff. I would have just given it an average score, leaving it right where it was on the scale, but the fact that Dom Mysterio is going to be in a shark cage, that gave me a little bit of pop. So we're gonna bump this up on the hard scale. And then next up we had Sami Zayn and Ludwig Kaiser in a match. And yeah, Sami Zayn, Ludwig Kaiser, one on one. You'd expect a good match because we know Ludwig Kaiser is showing out week in and week out what he can do. But I had one issue with this match, and that is that it took too much for Sami Zayn to beat Ludwig. And I know we're trying to build Ludwig. We're trying to make Ludwig credible. We don't want the boss, Gunther, or the heel of the head of the faction to have lackeys that just get beat up every week. Because we've seen that and it gets boring. We see that with the Judgment Day. So you kind of want him to have someone credible with him. And by that, you have Ludwig Kaiser have good matches and have competitive matches. But I just feel when you're trying to build towards a main event world championship match, you kind of need the competitor to look really strong. And yes, you can have Ludwig be somewhat competitive, but I do think Sammy should have got more offensive. With that being said, Sammy ended up getting the win with the Haluva kick after some near falls that Ludwig had on Sammy. So that's why I say he had a bit too much offense for my liking. But with that being said, Sammy gets the win. Really, really good match. I'm going to give it an up still. It's still going to be taking that heat scale all the way, or not all the way to the top. It's going to be climbing now. And yeah, I was happy with the match in terms of match quality. I think that is what saved it from just being average, considering my concern of Sami looking a little bit weak against Ludwig. We then had a match between Carlito and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee back on Raw. Dragon Lee winning again on Raw. Pretty simple match. Bit of Judgment Day interference, bit of LWO interference. We saw Rey Mysterio get involved after Dom and JD took out some of LWO. And yeah, Dragon Lee ended up landing his finisher, got the win. Quick match. Carlito he's irrelevant now, which is crazy considering how everyone was calling for his return to WWE. But anyway, he's irrelevant now. Yeah, Dragon Lee gets the win. That's the good part. Dragon Lee winning again. But this match brought down. This match was cold. This match was cold, and not cold as in sick. Cold as in a little bit of a downer. So with that being said, we then move on to the Miz versus Bronson Reed. Did this match happen? Of course not. Why did it not happen? Because Braun Strowman was standing on the barricade and just jumped on Bronson Reed. Like, this man is now jumping off things and he's 7 foot tall, 300 pounds, whatever he is. But yeah, they went at it afterwards. Miz tried to get his little body involved, but Bronson Reed with a suicide dive onto the Miz and Braun Strowman. They went back and forth, taking out the security guard. We saw Tsunami from Bronson Reed onto 2 security guards. We saw double chokeslam from Braun Strowman, and then a double clothesline with them two. It started breaking down again. We almost saw a superplex, which is going to lead to something next week, I think. But the security broke it up, and yeah, we now know that there's going to be a last man standing match next week on Raw. I wish this was on Bad Blood, but hopefully they'll get more time next week on Raw. So yeah, this match is going to be. This whole rivalry has been insane, and sometimes you got two big men that can either be really trash or it can be really good, and in this case, they're giving them all the tools for it to be really good. So I'm loving this. I know everyone else is loving this, and yeah, next week I think it's gonna end with the ring breaking. It seems obvious. I'm not sure I want that, but it's gonna have. I say I'm not sure I want that because it seems so obvious. Like, it's an awesome moment, but it just seems like it's gonna happen. So yeah, this poor Miz, man, poor Miz. Anyway, this was hot. This was a heater of a segment. So the scale goes up, and we then had Drew McIntyre cutting a promo, relatively short promo. The crowd with the what chance on a serious promo is just getting on my nerves now. It's really, really getting annoying. But he cuts a promo, says everything that we already know. Talks about the severity of the Hell in a Cell match. Talks about how Punk's family doesn't want him in it. Talks about how he himself doesn't want to do a Hell in a Cell match because he's still feeling the pain of previous Hell in a Cell matches. Yeah, that's pretty much, that was the promo. I feel like they've got nothing left to say. The what chance kind of drew me out of it, as annoying as that is. So yeah, this was just, you know what? I'm gonna give it a down. And that's nothing against Drew. I just think, when you watch. Okay, I don't know if anyone here is like a boxing fan or even a UFC fan. Okay, and they're doing press conferences, and you start to hear the fighters say, "I'm done with the talking. Let's fight." That's where I am now. I'm done hearing them talk. I just want to see the match. That's kind of where I am, and the match is gonna be fantastic, and I've loved the feud. But now it's time to get it over with, in a good way. Not like I'm done with it. In like, let's reach the climax of this feud. That's all I'm saying. Then we add the Unholy Union taking on Damage Control, and yeah, before the match, I saw Bianca Belair have a little conversation with Damage Control, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, of course. And the Unholy Union started off hard, started off getting the heat on Kairi Sane, but then Io Sky got the hot tag and it all broke down from there. Then towards the end of the match, we see Kairi land the insane elbow to the outside on Alba Fire, and then Io lands the moonsault onto Isla Dawn, and we get our winners in Damage Control. So now, I'm not sure if that confirms it or if that's setting up a match between them and the champions, Bianca and Jade. But I think it's going to be a damn good match. I think it's really going to be a damn good match. Damage Control, and I think we've seen it though. No, Asuka was involved. Io Sky wasn't involved in. That was still Asuka and Kairi Sane. But the point still stands. It's going to be a decent match. This match itself was good, but at the same time, very predictable because obviously Io Sky beat Bianca Belair last week, so they're obviously going to beat The tag team is obviously going to beat the Unholy Union this week. So yeah, let's just stay where we are on the scale. Let's just keep it right there. We then moved on to the New Day versus American Made, the Creed brothers. And look, at this point, Raw is 3 hours long. At this point, I was pulling out of the show a little bit. I was just like, get me to that main event. So whether this match was good or bad, it wasn't bad. Whether it was good or just average, I couldn't really tell because I was just watching it. I wasn't paying much attention. But it looked like a decent back and forth between both teams. And then the Creed brothers win, getting the pin over Xavier Woods. And yeah, I'm just going to keep this where it is as well. Keep it nice and average. I don't think there was anything wrong with the match. I don't think there was anything outstanding about the match either. So let's leave it there. But after the match, by the way, this is just a quick side note. We saw the segment between Xavier, Kofi, and the LWO, where Kofi is now Xavier's now really frustrated, bringing up the fact that everyone there's a world champion except for him. In other words, Ray was a former world champion, Ray was a former, Kofi was a former. So yeah, it's starting to really break down even more with Xavier Woods. I like that backstage segment. Then we had, what did we have afterwards? No, then we had the main event between Jey Uso and Braun Breaker. And going into this, I made a tweet saying Jey Uso was basically going to win tonight. And a couple of people didn't agree with me. Fair enough. I don't think I agreed with myself. I was kind of just trying to manifest something here. I was hoping Jey Uso would get the win. And he did. Jey Uso is your new Intercontinental Championship. I'm jumping the gun here because we haven't even discussed the match. But all I can say is, yeet, Jey Uso finally did it. He's finally a singles champion in WWE. The match was really good. Back and forth stuff. Proper main event caliber match. That near fall when Jey landed, the Uso splash and the super kick. So close. And when that happened, I thought, Braun's winning. Braun is winning. Braun Breaker is winning now. He got his near fall. That's it. It's going to turn now. But they did that on purpose to get us thinking that, because obviously we're smarter fans nowadays. We kind of understand a little bit of the psychology and we can see when certain things are happening. So they did that to kind of pull a blind one on us. And Jey Uso then landed a spear, landed his Uso splash, got the win. 1, 2, 3. He is the new Intercontinental Champion. Pyro all over. Great moment. Everybody yeeting in the crowd. He deserved it, man. He deserved it. I have been critical of Jey Uso at times, but I've also enjoyed Jey Uso at times. Like, it's been a bit of back and forth with him, and it's probably largely to do with his booking more than anything else. I'm so happy he finally got what he deserved. He finally got singles gold in WWE. Hey, man, he deserves it. He deserves it. He's one of the most over. He is the most over babyface on Raw, for sure. He's one of the most over babyfaces in the company as a whole. And I'm excited to see what he does with his title reign. I really am. With that being said, that was a super hot segment, so it's going to bump up the rating on the right-hand side here. And overall, I think Raw was pretty good. Pretty good. As you can see by the scale, it was pretty damn good. With that being said, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching this review. If you guys like this new way of doing it, let me know, and we'll continue doing this. Even when Troy comes on, even when MPKH comes on, or any other Stomp member comes on, we'll continue to do this. So let me know, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace.